Imagine a scene of absolute devastation. Enemy troops trample through homes, brave men fall, resources are plundered, infants meet brutal ends, and pregnant women are violated. It's a horrifying picture and one that seems too late to change. This is the message brought by the prophet Hosea. But how did things come to this? Is there a reasonable explanation? According to the prophet, 3 reasons stand out, with the last one being particularly perplexing. The first reason, the Israelites' worship of false idols, is understandable, given God's intolerance for wickedness. The second reason is their complacency and arrogance. Once they found prosperity, they forgot God's provision and grace during times of hardship, and began to pursue worldly pleasures, forsaking the true God. The third reason, however, is baffling. The Israelites demanded a king despite God's opposition. This seems odd since every group on earth has its own leader. The people's request for a king doesn't seem excessive, so why would God disapprove? This issue dates back to the time of the prophet Samuel. After years of traveling and judging throughout Israel, he managed to unite the fragmented Israelites. However, instead of wanting Samuel's sons to continue as judges, the Israelites wanted a king. This was partly because they envied other nations that had kings, and partly because Samuel's sons weren't satisfactory leaders. The Bible records this as follows: When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel's leaders. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah, and they served at Beersheba. But his sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted justice. Though God agreed to the people's request for a king, he told Samuel that the essence of this request was a rejection of God as their king. Relying on humans or kings is unreliable. Later, Samuel anointed Saul as the first king of Israel. Not long after, problems arose as expected. Samuel discovered that Saul was rejected by God for disobedience, and God sought another replacement, David. The people lacked faith in God. They preferred a limited, weak, self-centered human being they could see and touch over an omnipotent, omniscient God who loved them even when they were sinners. They didn't understand that having a king meant paying taxes and meeting the king's desires and needs first. A human king is selfish and prioritizes his own interests, while God, as king, acts out of love and considers his children's needs in everything. In real life, those who make men their kings are similar. They use religious language freely when things are going well, but when troubles come, they prefer to seek help from others, complain to others, and plead with others, rather than look to God, tell God, and seek his help. What is a real Christian atheist? It's someone who constantly talks about God and is enthusiastic about religious activities, but always hopes to benefit from others. God's message through the prophet Hosea is not just a warning to the Israelites, but a reminder to the entire religious world. God's word is active and effective, helping us avoid being ignorant. All good teachings are prepared for those who have ears to hear.